Welcome everybody once again to Disco Elysium. Last episode we explored the apartments and met our little friend, well friend I guess, this rich lady from the Wild Pines company where we have to talk to throw her off and know more about the murder. So let's get to it then. We talk about the boat and didn't go super well.
You're back. Good. What can I help you with?
Well, tell me about Wild Pines. What do you do? No, actually, you seem rich. Can I have some money?
Is what you want to say, but it isn't that easy, is it?
What? Why not?
Look at that lady. Take a gander. Squint your eyes, bub.
What a nice fabrics.
Why, yes. Tucked away under that sturdy green raincoat, almost rustic in its simplicity, a silk shirt and matching scarf around her gentle throat, while dull orange pearls hang from her earlobes, red from the cold. Her light green eyes scan you, full of knowledge and worry. Wealth and all its possibilities.
She's a rich fuck. She should be giving me money.
These are the kind eyes of the rich man that seem to say everything is possible, within reason.
Yeah, so?
Now look at you. You misery-clad simian, barely able to tie your own laces. Your armpits are lakes. A scythe of booze precedes you. Your hair sticks to your forehead, and your underwear feels uncomfortable.
God damn it, tell me that you don't like me, Iceland Empire.
You're poor. Poor as balls. You can't ask this person for money.
I'm a goddamn working man. I'm not ashamed to say this leech for some dough.
You think your little communism protects you from this feeling? No. The more demeaning it is to grovel at her feet. Oh God, the lieutenant is here too. Do not dishonor the force.
Ah, fuck off.
As I was saying, if there's any way I may be of assistance, please don't hesitate to ask.
Masovian socioeconomics approved. Can I have some money? Please work? Hello?
Voila, you're doing it.
Can I have some money, ma'am? Let's play the more calm situation. I don't want it to say, oh, you're rich, give me money. Can I have some money, ma'am?
Of course. How much do you need?
She nods. She doesn't even smile.
She's surprisingly nonchalant about this. Could it be that she somehow knows more about your predicament than she's letting on?
I need a... We're not gonna get 10,000 real, I think. I need 130 real.
That's a good sum. Not too small, not fantastically large.
She reaches into her raincoat and put out a zip bag. And if you see paper notes arranged like black gills.
She removes a few notes and hands them to you. The paper is cold and oily.
Oh, we can pay our debts. Yeah, every extra little bit of money is not ours.
Whoa. Did you see how easy that was? Ask her for more. Toot toot, train to Moneytown.
Nah, that would be dishonorable. And my honor is my life.
Can you eat honor? Are you an omnivore? Give me a break.
So, I hope I didn't just bribe you, officer. It may not be technically illegal under the Emergency Act, but still.
You bribe me, alright. I'm your little peon now. No. I'm an honorable policeman. One of the few good men in Revachol. Funny that you worry about this and not the ruthless exploitation of the entire human race. I'm still getting my hand around the whole money concept. You were just helping me out. Funny that you worry about this and not your ruthless exploitation of the entire human race. Damn, that's a strong one.
You're right, ma'am, that donations are permitted under the Emergency Act, unseemly as it may be, as long as they're properly logged with the precinct.
Which he most certainly will do. Now, how else can I help the RCM today, besides supplementing its salaries?
Well, tell me more. Tell me about the Wild Pines. What do you do?
What we do? I'm afraid I don't speak for Wild Pines as a whole. It's a giant undertaking.
I'm happy that we didn't have to like re-put some points into something. We still got 2 skill points that we can use for whatever spill check we feel that we might fail. You know, I might put a point into physical instrument just to try to wake up the guy who was sleeping in the thing. Assuming that's still over there. Yeah, well, we'll see. What we do, I'm afraid to speak as a Wild Pines as a whole. It's a giant undertaking.
There was a touch of discomfort there. She wants to merely represent.
Okay, so what do they do?
The Pines' core competency is logistics. Container shipping, freight, that sort of thing. See those airships there, blinking? Those are the shipping side of things.
She points to the small dots in the horizon.
And that is the terminal. Another subdivision deals with energy, oil and gas exploration, offshore platforms.
The Wild Pines Group is one of the original Revacholian Indo-tribes. Companies awarded royal monopolies by the king, the suzerain himself, centuries ago. The king is long gone, but several of the Indo-tribes remain.
Well, they still have the monopoly on it. Who are the other Indo-tribes?
Son Baptiste, Elysium, an unknown entity known as Brightest Star.
You're in good company, it seems.
Why, thank you.
She does not register the real meaning of the remark. How much money does Wild Pines have?
I'm not at liberty to discuss the company balance sheet, but I can tell you that last year, the company booked more than 20 billion real in revenue.
Wowers! That's it, I thought Wild Pines was supposed to be big time. Number like that mean nothing to me. I mean, I don't know. I mean, 130, are we talking like a real as a dollar? Per se, somewhat in that ballpark. I don't know how 20 billion is on the whole scheme of things. Again, in the scale of this world, you know, it's a little hard to say. I mean, let's be like, oh, I thought Wild Pines was supposed to be big time.
And to think, there are years when the group books losses in the billions.
A wave hits the slop. She grasps the mainstay for balance.
Wild Pines employs 72,000 people, all of whom have families that depend on their salaries. It is a tremendous responsibility.
Okay, where does the Wild Pine get all those billions?
They started as an exploration and cargo fleet conducting trade between the Samaran and Insulindian Isolas 250 years ago, when Pine ships explored the South Seminese and charted Lormentang on behalf of the suzerain. Centuries of care, deliberation, and madness have gone into this endeavor. Vessels pass through the great unrest to re-emerge with apricots in tow. The logic of the system is totalizing. It's taken everything from its employees to build it.
I mean, it probably helped to start out with a royal monopoly.
You know more than you let on. Certainly it helped, but most of the original Indo tribes have failed or been absorbed. To survive, Wild Pines had to grow and adapt. No suzerain did that.
What does such place system want with a place like this? Look around.
You mean aside from being the terminal's legal owners, who are responsible for moving 8% of the world's cargo?
You don't keep it moving. The workers do. The company's nothing without them.
We built this district.
She said calmly, ooh.
We. There it is. She owns up to it.
You're not just a mere representative. You have some stakes on the Wild Pines as a whole.
All the best parts of it. Rue de Saint-Ghislain, with its bastions. The plazas Meteor and Mosaic. Even some of the old street lamps have been put back thanks to the investments from the WP.
She points behind you where the seawalls rises.
Before Martinez was swallowed by the industrial harbour, even before it was part of Revachol, long before Terminal B was erected here, the Pines built it as a resort for its Revacholian employees. A company getaway, for a weekend or a summer holiday. Then came the revolution. But that's another matter. I'm here to make sure the Pines can fulfill their responsibilities to the place they built.
Right. The responsibility, huh?
With your help, hopefully, says her warm tone.
We got some points. Maybe I should put a point. You know, in something. What I feel I'm lacking. I mean, definitely this. Maybe I'll still save it. It's just that I don't really like not putting points into things because I know they could unlock certain dialogue. We'll wait until I finish with her. We did get the money, so I mean that was a big one. What could you tell me about this strike?
Everything. Right up to, but not including, trade secrets.
What if I want to hear about trade secrets?
First, you'd have to repeal the Emergencies Act of Trade in Aliments. That gives me the right to silence. It's quite the octopus.
Well, I mean, would have wanted to store the octopus. Better let it be. They're gonna let it, you know.
I'm glad you see it that way. To repeal the act would mean repealing the coalition government. The one that leases you the right to police West Revachol.
You'd be shooting yourself in the foot, in other words.
Yeah, whatever, leave it
But
alone.
I am derailing us. You wanted to know about the strike.
So, what is your role in this, like, precisely?
I believe the official title is Senior Labour Negotiator. In practice, I'm a grocery clerk. I relay the union's demands to Wild Pines and return with Wild Pines' counteroffer.
No way. She's more. She can make decisions.
That's the feeling that I got for rhetoric.
And how are the talks going?
They're not. That's the problem. The union stopped all negotiations a week ago, after that awful lynching took place.
It's weird. In this situation, usually it's the company that doesn't want to do the talking, you know?
Now they won't even let me into the harbour. There's a 2-meter-20 racist behemoth blocking the gates.
Tell us more about this behemoth, as you call it. Racist behemoth.
What can I say? The union employs a giant covered in tattoos. A racist giant. I guess that's part of their big tent organization.
Well, I
now.
don't like racism. How are we gonna, how were the talks before the lynching?
Let's say I was not making the kind of progress I'd hoped for when I first arrived.
And when did you first arrive?
I arrived 3 weeks ago. Yes, in the middle of February. The bay was still partially frozen then. I prefer to do these things on site, like the RCM.
But the strike began in December.
He looks at his notes.
I wasn't the original negotiator here. I took over after Mr. Gaumont hit a wall with Mr. Clare, the union boss. Mr. Clare refused to speak with Gaumont despite concessions he'd granted the union in prior negotiations.
This isn't the first time the union has gone on strike.
Heavens no. There have been 2 prior strikes. Both times the union won significant concessions, including overtime pay and a medical plan. This time their demands are more, I guess you could say, aggressive.
Ludicrous, even. It's meant.
Well, what happened to the last, this Gaumont, the last negotiator?
Mr. Clare told him to... How did he put it?
She pauses to compose herself.
Fuck off, midget. Gaumont is short of stature, you see.
Not cool.
Keep in mind, this is a negotiator Mr. Clare has worked with before, and who was more than fair with him and the union.
I mean, on paper, the concession seems pretty nice, but of course there's always more to this.
Sounds like usual aggressive posturing.
So what are the demands now?
There are leaflets everywhere, and banners. What did they say again? Oh yes. Every worker, a member of the board.
Most of the workers probably don't know what that means.
I like it. Over-aggressive comedy posturing. Seems like they have no idea about business. I don't know what to think about that. Like, I don't know. Like, in a perfect world, that would be ideal, but how would that even work? I don't know what to think about that. I'm gonna be a little neutral in this one.
Fortunately, they explained it. Every time the Wild Pines group makes a decision about anything, it needs the signature of each of the 2,200 workers in its Martinez terminal.
That, if nothing, seems like a pain in the ass.
Just so you understand, this is but one of 22 terminals owned by Wild Pines, Essentially, not only are they kings of the company, they are also kings of the 72,000 employees of Wild Pines Group.
An opening gambit, surely.
That's pretty funny, I have to admit.
They're having a blast. But how can they afford it? After 4 months, my assumption was they would prefer a more practical solution.
Sounds like an opening gambit.
So I hoped. But this type of opening is usually followed by a more reasonable offer. I've yet to hear one. Just the same nonsensical slogan repeated over and over again. And now, people are getting lynched, I hear. Behind the whirling in rags. A disastrous situation if there ever was one.
Excuse me, from whom did you hear about this lynching?
I first heard it from the bowyer at the gates. The one whose very name advertises his aversion to work. I think he said it was, "Call me mañana."
Call me mañana.
No, wait. The chief negotiator heard it from a man at the gates. Surely the Wild Pines Group has more effective channels of information. After all, 2,200 people are on strike. This is a big deal for them.
Yeah, she didn't talk challenging. Okay. Yeah, she's probably talked with the guy in the entrance. That it. Tell me more about this union boss, Mr. Clare.
Everard Clare is a man of the utmost integrity. If you can say one thing about him, it's that he always puts the interests of the workers first.
You're being sarcastic.
She's being sarcastic. Don't take her performance literally.
That's not what you really think, right?
Of course not. Everard is fantastically corrupt. I imagine he has a thick, viscous goo where you and I have blood.
Is he that bad?
He is the most corrupt individual I have ever seen, and I deal with men like him for a living. If there is anyone more venal, more irredeemably nepotistic, then it's his twin brother, Edgar.
So there are two of them.
Yes, Edgar looks exactly like his brother, except for that lazy eye. He also talks exactly like Everard does, and when one's term as foreman is up, the other takes over.
I don't think we actually met the other brother. Why would they make such a point about the brother if he's like not part of this at all?
It's how they circumvent the term limits, you see, with a funny little switcheroo. While in office, they've embezzled God knows how much of their workers' dues.
And what about the union itself, outside of the Brothers Clare?
The Debardeurs Union was once a perfectly normal institution. 20 years ago, anyway. It must not have been easy to establish under the Emergency Act, but they did it. I can respect that. Organised labour at its best, as they say. Then something happened in the local chapter elections. The Brothers Clare came and transformed it into a... how do you say?
She hesitated, looking for the right expression.
A mob. The Debardeurs are a crime syndicate. Sad as it may be, I suspect we'll be forced to cooperate with them.
Refreshingly honest, officer. The company has tried appeasing in the past, but I'm afraid our concessions have only emboldened Everard and his brother.
She turns to you.
And your opinion, detective, if I may ask. I'm a curious and talkative person, you see. Would you say the Debardeurs Union is...
Oh boy, political and effective advocate for the right of local working men. A giant leech sucking the life out of Revachol. Basically a socialist mob. I prefer not to have an opinion of these things. That's kind of the answer of like, I don't know. I mean, are they a socialist mob? Kind of. I don't know. I don't know if we'll call it effective. Like, how effective is like long term, you know? And the socialist mob.
Thank you for being candid. Sadly, Wild Pines have cooperated with what amounts to a crime syndicate for 2 decades. However much you feed the wolf always hungers.
One more thing. You said something happened in the elections.
I'm glad you asked. There was a woman, the previous forewoman of the union. She disappeared.
Disappeared?
Yes. On the last day of the local chapter elections, her daughter phoned in and said she wasn't running anymore, or coming to work. Ever. End of story.
That seemed like extortion, probably.
Indeed. The company suspects foul play, but there's nothing they could do. It was a union matter. The point of the presentation is, these kinds of things happen around the Clares. Watch out when you're dealing with him.
So you mean disappearing or getting threat?
Thank you for your concern, ma'am. We'll be just fine.
That's all I need. Let's change the subject.
Of course. How else can I help?
What can you tell me about this lynching?
Quite a few things, I'm afraid.
She fell silent for a moment, contemplating something.
The information I'm to share with you includes sensitive trade secrets. For the
Ooh,
sake
secret
of my
tax
employer,
complete.
I have to ask for your names and badge numbers.
Of course, ma'am. We should have introduced ourselves. I am Lieutenant Kitsuragi from Precinct 57.
The lieutenant hands her a piece of blue plastic.
And this is my colleague from Precinct 41. I'm afraid he doesn't have his badge at the moment. I hope mine will suffice.
How curious. Why is that, Detective?
Awkwardness washes over the conversation. The woman doesn't like this turn of events.
Doesn't she like or she gonna use? She gonna like it.
'Twas stolen by some artist, surely. Best to pin the blame on them. Everyone knows you can't trust artists.
Why should I blame on an artist?
Everyone knows you can't trust artists. They're nearly as bad as clowns.
Oh, some artist type stole my badge. It was a mistake to trust them. Some damn clown stole it from me. It's a long story. Remember when my partner told me I recently suffered from an unusual medical episode? My lost badge is related to it. Nah, some artist type stole my badge.
You mean someone stole your badge?
They said it was for a performance. You know how artists are nowadays.
I don't, in fact. I'm afraid what I need to tell you is wholly unrelated to art. I really need to discuss it, however. With
Damn
the
it.
RCM, and I need your badge for that.
Well, you and me need my badge.
Unbelievable, sire. Even the performance artists didn't work.
Yeah. Remember when my partner told me I recently suffered from an I had to say it anyway. Unusual medical episode? My lost badge is related to it.
I see. So, are you saying you lost your badge during the course of this episode?
He told me to be wacky. It's possible after a night of heavy drinking, I lost all memory of my life and the world.
Oh dear. I suppose this does explain some of the more curious turns in our conversation.
She sighs with compassion, sadness even.
She must have been suspecting something for a while.
I mean, have you watched the last episode when I was trying to shame her for having a expensive boat? That was a wacky encounter.
As I said, ma'am, his technique may be very unconventional, but he is an officer of the RCM.
And a really good one, I promise.
Of course, I sympathize. But I'm afraid I simply can't share anything more until I've seen that badge.
Hang on. She's a professional negotiator. She should be open to some sort of mutually beneficial arrangement.
Pete is your boat failure. Okay, it did kind of pay off. Sympathy for your amnesia. Okay, suggestion. What do you suggest? What kind of arrangement would it be?
I mean, favors for favors. A dirty alliance of some sort. Consider this. Perhaps she has been planning it all along. That you convince yourself into colluding with her.
Oh, that did give me one. A dirty alliance. Yeah. How do I negotiate my way out of this?
Easy. Just offer her a favor. Like I said, nice and dirty.
Surely there's some other way to demonstrate our law enforcement credentials.
I will be frank with you. If I'm going to break protocol, I need to be able to justify it to my superiors. They're going to want to see something very tangible.
But I know that's bullshit. You are like a higher up somewhere.
You're in, but expect her to drive a hard bargain.
Oh, okay. Well, like what?
Reports from inside Terminal B suggest it's a hub for the local drug trade. This is an open secret in Martinez. The Union controls the terminal, so it goes to reason.
She wants you to help her gain leverage to restart negotiations with the Union.
Want me to find out the link between the drug trade and the Union?
The company has tried looking into this matter before, to no avail. Perhaps someone with your authority and resources might turn over the right stones.
She doesn't need the car. She only needs me to bust it open.
Or you can recover your badge. Though if I may be blunt with you, it sounds like that may be a lost cause.
Detective, a word in private before we continue.
The lieutenant closes his notebook. Excuse us for a moment, madame. We need to talk.
This is not going quite as I hoped it would, Detective.
The lieutenant voices his hush. How do you hope it will go?
Honestly, I was expecting you to use your unorthodox technique to keep her off balance, and not volunteer us to be her henchman.
Really? I thought it was going well.
This woman is running circles around us. She might have known about your misplaced badge all along, or she's simply an adept improviser. Either way, we've played straight into her hands.
He doesn't let it show, but there is a limit to how much the consequences of your unprofessional behavior can cost.
I'm sorry, Kim. I'm trying to make it best. But I mean, think about it. If the drug trade is related to the union, it will be actually maybe good that we know about it. You know, having more things we can correlate. We don't know if maybe that is related to the murder case. You know, somewhat.
Maybe this is all her plan. She might have heard about you.
I'm sorry for putting us in a situation. I'll handle it. The company must have had more ears on the ground. She could have known about my condition. The proposal was likely part of the design. I mean, what do you propose? That we don't investigate the drug trafficking? I'm sorry for putting us in this situation, Kim.
I'm sure you will, Detective.
The company must have ears on the... Oh, we can... They say everything. Have ears on the ground. She could have known about my condition.
I wouldn't go that far. Her reaction did come off as sincere to me. I think she's just quick to adapt. She's a professional, after all.
She's a negotiator. She had to keep her poker face. Her proposal was likely part of her design. This all is.
Yes. Knowing this does not really change our position, however.
I mean, do you propose we don't investigate the drug trafficking?
No. If there is reasonable suspicion, we must investigate. Otherwise, she could claim we are siding with the Union, or that we are on their take. We'd never hear the end of it. What I propose is, we ask her, then we investigate, briefly. But do not share the outcome of this investigation with her. We tell her it's done, and demand for her information on the lynching.
That's not a bad idea. We could just now find my badge. I mean, that implies, yeah.
Oh, that would be fantastic, but do we have the time? The world is large, and your badge is 8 by 6 centimeters.
The situation might have changed drastically by the time you locate it. Time is of the essence.
Yeah, might be better to just look for the drug trade.
You could request a new one from your station, but that would literally take months.
I haven't even talked to them. I had to do it later. Ugh. Let's go back to her then. Fine, we'll... Oh.
You're back. Good. What can I help you with?
Okay, tell me about this allegedly drug trafficking.
It's quite straightforward. Someone is using Terminal B to smuggle raw ingredients from the Samaran Isla into Revachol with the Union's blessing. Wild Pines has suspected it for years.
Ingredients for what, ma'am?
Meth and dextroamphetamine, GBL, and various
Just
synthetic
meth.
psychedelics. Honestly, it might be quicker to say what you can't make from the stuff.
Let me get this straight. The material come from Samara or to Revachol through the terminal?
Yes. After they clear the terminal, we lose track. The actual production is taking place at various sites in and around Jamrock Quarter, north of here.
Wild Pine seems to be well apprised of the local drug trade, ma'am. Do you mean to say the Union also produces the product? Sells drugs, I mean?
We're in logistics. It's our business to know. And no. As far as the company knows, the Union does not produce it. They transport the ingredients for a cut.
I don't know. I don't know. I imagine this at least to some degree, even if it is just individual members, they will do some drug. That's what we know. Okay, and you want us to investigate?
Yes, but you won't get anything out of Evrat and the Dock Workers Union. Still, Every chain has its weak link.
The handoff. The motor lorries at the roundabout.
The lorries.
Precisely. Someone needs to move the ingredients from the harbour into the city. Once they reach Jamrock, they're distributed to a network of local manufacturers well beyond our grasp. But in transit, they're vulnerable.
How convenient that they're stranded like beached whales at that roundabout.
Because we can talk to them. Yeah.
Perhaps you've noticed that a number of lorries are tangled in a traffic jam at the roundabout just now. Interview the drivers who are still hanging about. One of them might be waiting for a crucial shipment.
She gives you a knowing look.
I'll be explicit. If you find this driver, I will share company secrets with you.
Uncovering Union secrets could also give you an upper hand when dealing with them.
True, fair. What did you come? I mean, we're really, at the end of the day, we're looking the bottom matter is the murder. So if we find some link, even if it is very weak to the Union, it could be useful. Why did you come to the RCM earlier? What are all this secret and stuff? Shouldn't be this police matter?
We did.
Oh.
On more than one occasion. Apparently, there's some sort of inter-precinct disagreement about whose jurisdiction this area falls under.
We did hear about that, yeah.
We know the company has launched its own probe into the Union's alleged involvement. We also know it's come up empty. It's not just the RCM. No one's been able to find any hard evidence.
That's why we're here, though.
Well, here's your chance, officers.
It's no coincidence that the lorries are stranded here like that, is it?
No. We asked East Motor Track to raise the drawbridge. The road company is a partner of one of our subsidiaries. However,
She pauses, looking to the sea.
this is a limited time opportunity. Once the complaint has been processed by the Trade Committee, they'll have no choice but to lower the drawbridge, and the operation will continue. Thousands of litres of raw ingredients will pour onto the streets of Revachol. Not the east across the river, but the west. The vulnerable, the weary.
Well, at least this solves one mystery.
What is that, Lieutenant?
Why I had to call East Motor Track and beg them to open a drawbridge for me. I'd wondered since I first drove in, on my motor carriage.
Oh, they're talking about, yeah, there's like a bridge, there's like lift that won't let us to... Wait, is that the same thing? I'm getting my lore mix.
I am sorry for the inconvenience, Lieutenant Kisaragi, but we need them trapped here. This is a unique opportunity. I'm sure you understand.
What proof do you have that the Union is involved?
How do you think they're financing this strike? There are thousands of unpaid dock workers going strong for the 4th month straight.
There was a shakedown of local businesses preceding the strike. Many were squeezed to bankruptcy to fund it.
With all due respect to these desert cacti, the contents of a few cash registers cannot provide for 2,000 men. The local businesses can scarcely provide for themselves.
Fair enough. So you think the strike is being funded with the source ingredients for drugs?
Precisely. Smuggled out of that very gate at night, most likely, then loaded onto lorries and driven to Jamrock. You simply need to find one driver who will open up to you.
It sounds like she tried looking into it herself, though she's clearly not the type your typical lorryman would confide in.
Okay, I made my mind about the smuggling investigation.
Yes?
We will take this case, probe the drivers, see what it yields.
Excellent. According to my reports, there are at least 3 lorry drivers lingering near the roundabout. Hopefully one of them will know something. It may come to nothing, or it may just blow the case wide open. I can keep the drawbridge up for a few more days at least. You should have the time you need. In the meantime, let me know if there's any other way I may be of assistance.
She takes another long sip for the seemingly bottomless thermal cup. Yeah, she's been taking a lot of those. This is gonna be a weird... You seem smart. I need someone to give me a lockdown in this reality we're in.
This reality.
She pulls her hood close around her neck.
Yes, reality is your side case. An experimental side case.
I mean, conducted a personal investigation into the world I find myself in. is related to that medical episode I have trouble in remember even the most basic terms of reality. No time to explain. Just give me the lowdown. I'm conducting a an experimental case. I'm conducting a personal investigation into the world I find myself in.
How truly curious. A sort of philosopher detective.
My theory is that this inquire into the nature of reality will ultimately converge into our murder investigation. They are actually one and the same.
Are they now?
The lieutenant cocks one eyebrow. If I heard that in real life, that would be one of the possible outcomes. Me being like, what?
A deep synthesis. I'll assist you however I can then. Go ahead. Ask.
All right, we're in. I know these all look good, but begin with the first, okay?
Okay, Encyclopedia, I don't know why you're so... Damn! What if reaching for something fundamental? Conceptualization 7, that is a... And spirit the corpse. What is think something close to you? Okay, easy enough. Where are we?
We're in Martinez, baby.
Baby?
A casual term of endearment popular among the 50-plus crowd. It's a disco holdover, pay it no heed.
I think that's how you call someone the you like, you know, like, hey baby, what's up? You know? Well, I'm a disco holdover myself.
Aren't we all?
She refers to your corresponding ages.
Okay. And what is Martinez?
Martinez is a district of Revachol. A very small district tucked away near the industrial harbour, north of the 881 and Jamrock.
I think we did knew a couple of these things, but she's gonna really give us a lockdown, I think. She looks around, her green raincoat flapping in the wind.
You would be excused for not knowing about it. Unimportant, they say. Forgotten, even. Shelled to smithereens during the Revolution. It has its charms, just not this time of year.
Well, tell me more about it.
I'm not a good ambassador. I've only been here once before, as a teenager. Not a lot has changed. There are ruins, a terminal, fishing boats, reeds, boys with boxy shoulders.
She closes her eye. Those are her memories.
As I told you, Martinez used to be a province. A workers' resort before the city swallowed it and the artillery did its part. Now the reeds are the real star of the show here. The further down the coast, the wilder it gets.
She seems like being somewhat attached to this place. She closed her eyes and recalled like what she saw and like her brain, her memories, like what she pictured Martinez being. Know what it is. You mentioned a sea. What sea is this? Did we have this conversation?
It's not really a sea, it's the Bay of Revachol. And the bay feeds into the ocean.
Are we near the ocean?
Yes. We're on an island in an ocean. The world's largest body of water. The Insulindic.
Not an island, it was... Did it say...
Known to the early Revacholians as...
Whatever the other thing was.
Immensité bleue, the blue immensities. Vast. Lukewarm,
Peninsula. Wasn't a
and
peninsula?
unknowable, flowing in and out of sight.
What is the name of this island?
Caillou, as you already know. Imagine a pebble. A smoothed over pebble amidst a great blue sea. Misshapen, cracked. The cracks are the river Esperance. We're in the delta of this river, on the 6th branch. The Martinez distributary.
It is clear this pebble is of enormous value to her.
Yeah.
And to humanity at large.
Okay. That's Martinez. What about Revachol?
Revachol? Revachol is what you call a city.
I don't know why I'm picturing Kim being like, just being like, okay, let's just get over with this. What kind of city is Revachol?
The great kind.
As if it's self-explanatory. Beyond patriotism. A fact.
It's a fact. But what makes Revachol great?
History detective. They built this city to resolve history. Our part in it, at least. Our centuries.
What resolve history? What does that even mean? Okay, who built this city?
The nations of the Occident, or migrant workers from Semenine and Ile Marat, depending on your creed.
And when was Revachol built?
In the DeLorean century. 380 years ago.
And why will it resolve history?
They say it's where the terrible questions of our time will be answered. The tensions are highest, the fault lines deepest. By that I mean conflicts. Ideological conflicts. The stuff of men. We are standing
Why here?
on a fertile, self-sufficient island able to sustain up to 200 million people. In the middle of the Insulindic Ocean. The world's connective tissue. It's where the money is.
So, we are in an unimportant part of an important place.
I think it's fair to say so. Martinez is about
She points across the water where the skyscrapers rise.
22 kilometers from the center of the world. That soldering iron is the bank of the world building. The bottom floors are Insiacom. Coalition government, Insulindian Mission Command.
Look at the sea.
Silence. She lowers her hand. The water, the light. It's as though you're seeing it for the first time.
Where are we?
We are where we are. I have no truer answer to give, unfortunately.
She watches you close as you scan. We got the thought, Jeremiah's Boo, the realization.
This is one thought you need to complete. Where are you?
Okay, I needed to complete. Okay.
Was there something else you wanted to know? I remember something about a lowdown.
This has been informative. Thank you, ma'am. I'm sure my memory-impaired partner has many more questions to ask, about even more fundamental aspects of reality.
Yes, I do, Kim.
Might I suggest not asking them all right now? Ma'am, Messier will be here later too, and tomorrow. Isn't that true, ma'am?
Absolutely. My commitment here is long-term.
Okay, fine. We can keep asking these questions later. I don't want the entire episode, like a full hour, just me talking to this lady. You're right, Lieutenant. I'll continue later.
It's better not to eat all your candy at once.
Okay, kid. You know about moderation, I don't.
Indeed. I'm always at your service.
Yeah, that's all for now.
Glad to have been of assistance.
Thank you. What was the thought I gained again? Jeremiah the Boost. Temporary research bonus, none. Revachol is a special administrative region. Le Collioure, the Insulindian Ocean, Coalition Government, Insulindian Mission Command. Name after name, and none of them is familiar. They seem real, but something is wrong. You feel like a kid looking at stickers on the fridge. Truven, the Apricot Company, War Games 34. You can almost see your hand reaching out for them. Scratch at the corners. See if they peel loose. This feels like the most important of all the thoughts. One you must truly complete. Okay, let's internalize it. That the game is like, complete this one. Might as well, let's do that. Okay. We need to resolve the whole deal with the drunks, and we can pay the guy. Can I? Oh, sorry. Again, I don't know why it's lagging so much.
Just an ordinary wall.
Yeah, it's just an ordinary wall. I get it. It's not too late yet. I guess might as well just pay our fucking bills, right? Make sure that we can afford to sleep tonight. Hey, this guy's still here. Maybe I can talk to him. Alright, the kitchen is open. Look at that. These dishes are drying the smell of chemicals and pine trees. 120... just some money that I took from some people.
A thin man is smoking below an exhaust hood, occasionally sipping from his mug. This must be the Whirling's cook.
Hello.
As you step in, he nods toward the table and says something in a completely foreign language. The only words you can make out are Goranci and Kubek. Okay, it's definitely not his name. Whatever you do, please don't call him Goranci Kubek. Please. It's not funny.
Gorazzi has some questions to ask. I mean, it is sort of funny, but it's insensitive. Hello, sir. Got time for a few questions?
The man puts his cup down and replies something, his left hand drawing arcs in the air.
You got some impressive pots here.
He smiles and bangs his ladle against each of his pots in turn.
Cool.
It's almost like music, especially with the sounds of assorted dishes boiling and simmering on the stove.
I don't think I need anything else. Stay masculine! Weird. We'll probably need to talk to him more.
You see a heavy steel door with a prominent dimple lock. It's painted blue. You immediately feel drawn to the color. Blue is for mystery.
Blue is intellect. Touch the door.
The cobalt blue surface feels rough to touch. The stainless steel door is flush with its frame on every side. It leads to a side building, adjacent to this one. The old building next to this, half ruined. Whatever is behind it must be older.
Older, that means there's loot. Try to push on the door.
The door does not budge.
You know, I wonder what this door leads.
You do? It's a door in the back of the kitchen. Why do you care where it leads?
The lieutenant will regard you with patient skepticism. I'm drawn to his cover blue.
It is quite pretty. I suppose we could look into it as a side investigation.
It's hardly a side investigation. You already have a name for it.
No, the door's a mega investigation. I'm calling it Behind the Blue Door.
It's hardly worth a title. Anyway, Gart is the person to ask about this. The cafeteria manager.
I mean, it is part of the building, so I don't know. There should be a way to go in there.
Can I help you?
Oh, I forgot to give you. Here's your trash container key.
Thanks. I hope you found what you were looking for.
I found the victim's clothes.
How strange. I certainly didn't put them there.
Maybe you don't remember putting them there. Maybe you were sleepwalking. I'm not saying that. That's stupid. Could someone of the staff have put them there?
Sylvie had the keys before I got here, and I can vouch for her. I can vouch for all my staff. None of us would tamper with the crime scene.
Who else has a key to the trash container?
The trash collection service? CS Municipal. I don't see why they would put anything in the trash, though.
Ah, the elusive CS Municipal. I doubt we'll be able to track down who was sent here last and when. This will have to be one of those little threads that solves itself down the road.
I never noticed how much the fiends put. You're like, oh yeah, this little thing. Don't worry, we'll get the information eventually, you know?
Thank you anyway.
Thanks. Alright, let's get wacky. Maybe you don't remember putting them there. Maybe you were sleepwalking or in a fugue state.
I think fugue states are more your forte. Officer.
Okay, I deserve that one. Thank you.
Yes.
So about that money I own.
Yes. Have you got it?
How much was I again?
A lot. A lot. For the room, drinks, and broken window, 130 real.
I have your money here.
Well?
Slam the bill down the corner. I hope you choke on it now. Here it is. I'm sorry for the problems. We're a new person. We're a new, very nice person. Here, sorry for the trouble.
Great. Thank you, officer. That's all I wanted. Payment for services rendered.
Oh, we got us some new skill points. Well, now definitely I'm gonna try to wake up that guy.
He's not sorry about his behavior for your sake. Now that you have money, he really wants to make sure you're not angry with him.
I'm not angry. I mean, I did fuck up the place, you know? I work similar work to this guy and been in position of having to, you know, deal with clients. I'm not upset. It's fine.
It's good you paid before 9 p.m., or your door would have been locked electronically.
He tapped his foot against a metal box installed on the back of the bar counter. That's a cool system. They can just lock from there.
Please pay for each night in advance starting tomorrow. 20 real per night.
I mean, I already have half. It's not too bad.
I'll take a room here too.
He opened his wallet.
Of course. Always happy to have officers from the RCM as guests. Anything else I can do for you?
Well, I hope you treat me a little better now that all the problems have been resolved. Gardy, I saw another thing at the whirling.
Another thing. Great. I love those.
You're still a bit of a sarcastic man. There's a mysterious blue steel door in the back of the kitchen.
Oh, yes, that door, sure. There's nothing mysterious about it. It's just a door.
He shrugs. Well, do you know what's behind it? Do you have...
No, I don't have a key. I don't know how to get there. And I don't care either. It's not like I've been wondering about it for 10 years. It's just the frit warehouse, probably.
You are been wondering.
Wondering about it is, of course, exactly what he's been doing for 10 years.
You're a shit liar.
Or some boring storage space with a bunch of old junk and dust. Junk and dust.
He runs his finger across the... He sounds like a little kid, like, I don't even care what's out there. I don't care.
He's attempting to maintain an air of indifference. It's absolutely not convincing.
I think you'd like to know what's back there.
Fine, okay, a little. But my job doesn't leave me time for wondering about one locked door in one of the cafeterias.
Well, you're lucky. I'm all about opening every little space and getting every single bit of information that I can. I'm your man.
So, I haven't opened it. I have cleaned the whole place 100 times over, though, after the animals. And I haven't found a key, so good luck with that.
Thank
Yes.
you. Goodbye. Well, we'll see. Okay, are you almost awake, sir? Hold on.
That sugary black rum stain on the counter makes you teary-eyed with joy. It's almost touching how syrupy and sticky it is. How long have you been up already?
I'm not drinking.
Oh, excuse me. Do you have something better to do than lust for sweet syrupy rum and lemonade? With a twist of lemon? Maybe lime. Maybe who cares? Just rum.
Maybe I have a lemonade drink. Fuck, shut up, electrochemistry. Finish my thought. I'm not gonna drink. Hey.
The worker is in a deep slumber.
Fine. I feel like we do need some electrochemistry down the line. And we'd have 3 points. Right?
The worker is in a deep slumber.
Hold on. Do I have something that's fucking up my... That's fucking up my thing? No, I don't think so. Fine, we'll try again.
The worker is in a deep slumber.
Wake him up!
There is
Hell
only
yeah!
one way to wake this bone idol from his slumber. Roar like a hurricane. Rip the buildings from the earth.
Hell yeah! Wake up! This is an order! I am the law!
Why the yelling, man?
Man, I didn't remember this guy at all. That is not the voice they have. They changed a lot of the voices. Did he even have a voice? I don't remember this guy sounded like this. This 30-something man slowly lifts his head and gives you a pensive look.
Looks like a Sao descendant. A lot of Sao dock workers around.
Okay, what does that relate to anything? I just wanted no. You're alive? You look like for the long count here. Yeah, I've been here since 8 a.m. but there is 4, almost 5. You're alive? You look out of the long count.
Wait, what? I was just sleeping. What do you want, officer?
He seemed pissed off.
Officer, even after a rude awakening, this dock worker respects the police. More than they usually do, at least.
For one of the dock workers, they seem to not like us. Oh, now that I think about it, like, yeah, probably that lady's looking also for the roundabout and the lorrymans and everything. That lady on the gardener. Seen anything interesting in your dreams?
Thank God, no.
Was a familyless darkness into which we ought to be deferred, like corpses to a mausoleum? Was a pure nothingness, your consciousness no larger than a single grain of malt? Tell me, was the bliss free of X something? Was it the fathomless darkness?
The worker stares at you, his eyes dry from sleep. A web of wrinkles covers his tanned forehead.
I don't know what you're talking about, kind sir. But when I'm out, then I'm really out. No corpses, no mausoleums, just quality time.
A little me time in the abyssal pelagic zone. You can never return to it now. Only detective work remains. Wakefulness and detection.
Just how I like it. Also, again, sleeping like that can be good for you. That seems horrible. Seriously, just lay out somewhere. Can you tell me about Wild Pines? Points to the writing on his overalls.
That's the name of my employer. I work in logistics.
He doesn't sound too enthusiastic about this.
Well, how's that going?
How's it going?
The dog worker lets out a big yawn, then stares at the cafeteria terrace doors. Some fingerprints glisten on the glass.
Haven't you noticed what's going on outside?
Hell yeah, it's a total madhouse.
Good. Then you understand the gist of it. We would all be better off without the employers and their employment. For one, I can get some goddamn shut-eye. Right to sleep, I say.
Sleepy man. I don't know what do we call it? Sleeping dog work. I was gonna say it should be called like something like that. It was he's already sleeping. That's his title. Sleepy man. What are you sleeping out here while the others are striking?
Nate got it. Majoret's got it. He's guarding the gate. I'm just getting some sleep. Or was.
Sorry about that. So Measurehead, that's the 2.20 tall meter guy who's racist. Who's begun organizing the strike?
We are. The workers. The union. We know what we need. What's right for us.
You mean there's no leader?
Okay. I guess there's also Everard. He's in charge of the union. He's smart. Knows how to negotiate. He's got our back.
So far, this guy hasn't told me anything useful. Nothing that we didn't know already. What about the dead body in the yard?
Yeah, what about it?
I'm just trying to find out what you know about it.
You know, people die here every day. Someone's found in a ditch. Another one falls in a manhole. A third one gets eaten by stray dogs.
He respites.
If someone has decided to die on top of a tree, then how is it my concern?
I mean, someone has to look into it. Looks like a damn someone. Can you tell me what you know?
I can tell you this. Trouble's ahead.
What trouble?
You heard what I said. Draw your own conclusions. That's all I know. And I prefer to keep it this way.
He's probably talking like we did us, talking with the representative, that this is just a gambling entrance. This is just the entrance, you know? This is the opening move.
The lieutenant gives you a little nod, then makes a note in his blue notebook.
The dog workers also know some shit is coming.
So Union people think he was a killer, he thinks. Even Sleepy Hair. This doesn't help a lot, but it's something.
Oh, I didn't even
Good
catch
work,
that.
detective.
When he said that. What do you mean he was a killer? When did we even get that? You know, people die here every day, some fun. If someone decides to die on top of the tree, how is my concern? Troubles ahead, you hear what I said. I prefer to keep it that way. What do you mean? Yours points to the bottle and the split rum.
Indeed. Help yourself to some. Wait. No. Oh, it's empty. Sorry about that, pal.
No, I'm good. I don't drink. Do you see my face? Does this look like the face of a man who drinks? Don't answer that. Alright, I'll let you sleep.
The dock worker doesn't answer. His head is already back down on the table, in sweet sleep.
We finished. Not that useful. We did gain a couple of points. I guess having some, it's not that bad. This hasn't opened, so yeah, it's probably gonna open soon. Might as well talk into the people. Hey man, how's it going?
Now it's turning into a kind of a Snow limbo, man. What's on your mind?
That's still so low. I need to put some points into it and probably having some clothing. You seem like a man who know about drugs.
Ah, man. Me and narcotics go way back. Had some good times surfing the psychic waves of my own consciousness, you know?
I can tell by those tattoos that you're getting, you know, your funk. He folds his hand behind his head and leans back. He's like, those good times, and I was super high and shit.
But those days are behind me. There are other addictions in my life now. Why the inquiry, my man?
Hopefully more healthy ones. Do you finance those other addictions with drug trafficking?
Hey, man, that's serious criminal talk. Are you trying to pull some sort of an entrapment thing on me?
Entrapment is a practice whereby an officer of the law induces a person to commit a criminal offense that the person would have otherwise been unlikely to commit, usually through some trickery, persuasion, or fraud.
Oh, thank you for aclaring that. I didn't know I knew that word. No, of course not.
Then what's your deal here?
He rubs his jaw.
So much for subtlety. Better get straight to the point.
Let me be straight with you. I'm trying to figure out who's smuggling drugs out of the Terminal B.
We have a credible lead, sir. Someone on this roundabout is waiting for a bulk shipment from the harbor to load it on their lorry and drive it to Jamrock.
Not me, man. No way. I don't need any trouble. Shit's bad enough anyway. This jam's got folks up in arms, and I'm afraid it's headed toward a conflagration.
Then why are you still hanging around?
Gotta guard the stuff. Bosses don't look kindly on missing cargo, and it gives me time to work on my rhymes.
A rhymesmith? This is quite credible. It goes with its cadence and way of speaking.
Who do you think could be conducting the drug trade then?
Look, man, I try to stay away from the criminal underbelly of Revachol. I'm a guest here. You really need to find another man to probe with those questions.
We wouldn't say he's lying, sire.
Conceptualization formidable. He's a poet. Hit him with your best verse. Oh. It is a white check, so I can retry it. I have 2 points, right? Yeah, I still have 2 points. Fuck it, let's give it a go.
Wait, there's something here, stored away in some dusty corner. It starts like...
A mirror temperature is always 0. It is ice in the veins. Its camera is an X-ray.
Whoa. What else?
He likes the rhyme. He leans in, his eye bright with attention. It is chalice hell out of you in silent communion.
Silent communion. That's good.
Is transfixed by the words. Where gasping, you partake on the shifting identity, never your own.
Dang, that's some great shit. You came up with that yourself.
Or did you learn it in school? More importantly, who can prove if you did? Go with it. You deserve some acclaim.
I think that might be an actual poet, and I'll learn it by how. Nah, I'm just a vessel for the muse.
Right. But really, no bullshit. That's great stuff. I sort of want to know if it's yours.
I think the words are mine, yes.
Fucking hey. Seems I got you all wrong. Cops aren't much known for their artistic sensibilities these days. It's good to meet a fellow poet. Someone with an appreciation for real text. The others here, so you don't really get it.
It makes it all the easier to bear if the words are pretty.
I get you. When they really click, it makes the world seem manageable. Good to be on the same page.
He gives you a thumbs up.
You found some common ground with this man. Even impressed him. The next time you look in the mirror, though, remember those words.
Oh, this is for the thing, guy. Well, did he get any points for the thing? Weird.
Why does art inspire you so much?
It does, yes. But what is art?
Excellent question. Art is a diverse range of visual, literary, auditory, and performative creativity. It's an expression of imagination and technical skill. Additionally, it's history, criticism, and pure enjoyment. In short, art is the highest form of human communication, representation, narrative, emotion, and agency intertwined.
Would I fit into the art world? I mean,
Have you looked in the mirror lately? You have the exact features of a savage art critic, with that beard and those clothes, disheveled and prophetic. Perhaps you should try to critique architecture too.
so architecture is also art?
Of course not. It's autism, box
What?
drawing, masturbation with a ruler and a sextant or whatever they use.
Damn.
You should demean and criticize the genteel institution of architecture while extolling the virtues of the pure arts.
What about music? Is that art?
Only the most experimental kind.
Well, I guess I have been feeling critical lately.
Yes, you seek substance. No vapid representations and reproductions of social mores as made manifest in stuffy biennials. We're talking real, living art here. Become the art cop. Half art critic, half cop.
Wait, but don't I have to be 100% cop to get the case finished and all that?
Quit being so indecisive. What are you going for here? Some kind of indecisive
No, I'm the
and
art cop.
camp aesthetic now? Strike a bold shape here. Go art or go home.
I gotta be honest. The first time that I did this, I was doing the sorry cop. I was just apologizing all the time. I cannot help it, and I was like being like, so yeah, I think I'm gonna go art cop. Okay, if 50% art critic is what needed to free me from rot reputation, so be it.
Exactly. It's not only your duty to only catch the criminals off the street, you must also apprehend criminals of the printing press and the gallery, the trite and derivative artists and writers of the world.
Fuck yeah.
Go ahead and provide savage criticisms, art cop. The world is yours to rip to pieces and reassemble.
I'm gonna write the best Kotaku article ever rated. How is this going? 80%. Okay. Actual art degrees. Temporary research bonus. -1 perception. Can't even look at this shit. Research time. Only 1 hour 30 minutes. Yeah, it's another couple type. The worst one. The most savage. I don't have any couple type, I think. It's another couple. The worst one. The most savage and brutal. The art cop. Nothing is good enough for him. Everything is shit. You have to employ an armada of adjectives to despise and demean the mediocrity of the world and visual institutions around you. Really flex that critical muscle until the vocabulary for punishing mediocrity becomes second nature. Here we go. I mean, I have already shitty perception, so why don't we? Why not? You know, whatever. It's a short one. Okay, I think we're gonna finish it here. We got to investigate the drug trade. We got to, and yeah, we got some couple type working on our brain or whatever. So we'll do that on the next episode. Thank you everybody for watching. If you've been enjoying the content, please make sure to give a like, to comment, and subscribe. And we'll be seeing each other in the next episode of Disco Elysium. Bye bye.